Well, I got the two most recent issues of Doctor Who magazine in the mail today, and these are them. As usual, I ordered them from an eBay seller, and it's usually cheaper that way. I've been ordering from this one seller, Apple Mac, for years, probably since like 2015, almost every month, or every other month. And the seller has just the most recent issue. Sometimes it might be, a little bit of an older issue, maybe a couple months, but that's about it. And once they're gone, they're gone. And then the seller lists the next issue, the next most recent issue. And Doctor Who magazine is a British publication, so it comes out first in the UK, and then about a month later, it comes out in the US. The only store in my area that carries it is Barnes and Noble, which is a bit further away from where I live. So I don't get to it that often. But so that's why I order it online. Another reason is that it tends to be cheaper ordering it on eBay than it does buying it at full price at Barnes and Noble. The seller, the eBay seller, will usually offer, if you watch the item, he'll offer you'll get an email that says, you have an offer from the seller to, buy the item at a discount. Usually it's about $3 off or $2 off, something like that. So usually I watch the item when I'm ready to buy it, because the price gradually goes down till it sells out. And we're just going to carefully try to open up this box. Now, these were the two most recent issues. I bought them both together. And it only cost me $20.76 to buy both of them. So that's around a little over $10 per issue, which is a good buy considering the cover price. Now, the thing is, I had one of these issues I thought I missed, because I kind of waited a little too long, and then the eBay seller stopped selling it. So I thought, I missed that one, and I'll probably have to go to Barnes and Noble to get it. Well, I did go to Barnes and Noble last week, and Barnes and Noble didn't have it. They didn't have any Doctor Who magazines, which was unusual. And elsewhere in this video, later on in this video, I'll show a clip of my trip to Barnes & Noble looking at the magazines. And you'll see no Doctor Who magazines. Lots of other magazines, but no Doctor Who magazines for some reason. But we'll move this out of the way. Oh. And now here is the most recent issue. This is 577. Which, as you can see, has a cover price of $14.50. A lot of times I take that little sticker off, but I might just leave it on there. I'm not sure. And then this one was the issue before. Now, in the eBay description, he had mentioned that it had a little damage to the bag, but I'm going to tear open the bag anyways, so it doesn't really matter. As long as the magazine side looks okay. Now, this one has a cover price of $19.75. So if I had gone to Barnes & Noble and bought this, that would have cost me, plus tax, it would cost me $20. Whereas from this eBay seller, I was able to get both these issues for $20.72 or whatever it was. So that worked out really well. Now, like I said, I thought when I went up to Barnes & Noble, I thought that this issue was no longer available. I thought I'd missed my chance to get it from the eBay seller. I thought, oh, great, so I'll have to get it for full price from Barnes & Noble. They did not have it. The next day, I checked eBay again from the eBay seller, and it turned out he had one copy left. He had listed it. And I thought, well, I'm going to watch it and see if I get an offer through my email. And sure enough, I did. I got an offer on both of these, so they were discounted. I think this was like $7 and this $6, something like that, plus postage. So it worked out super well. And once I bought this one, I think that was it. He didn't have any more copies of it. Now, I've showed in previous videos how to open these bags without destroying the bag. This one looks like it might be a little trickier. Usually, I've mentioned in those videos that the people usually want to open it from the bottom because it looks like it's easier to do it from the bottom. But I recommend not opening it from the bottom because then everything falls through the bottom, and it's better to open it from the top, even though it looks like you'll be destroying more of the bag if you open it that way. But at least you'll be able to slide things in and out, and then you'll be able to, if you're storing your magazines like that, you'll be able to have them upright. So we're going to carefully see how we're going to do this one. It's not a usual bag. It's sort of just like a little wrapper. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do this one, but I'm just going to test it out here first to see what kind of opening we got in here. See how far it goes in. Okay, yeah, I can see this. This should be pretty easy. I'm just going to tear across. There we go. All right, you can see all the stuff in there. This, every now and then Doctor Who magazine will have bonus stuff, and that's why they cost more than a regular issue. Like a regular issue, this is just a standard issue, is $14.50 in the US, which is a lot of money. But I mean, it used to only be like $10. Now it's, but of course everything is going up in price. So, but if you're collecting Doctor Who magazine, you kind of have to keep your collection going. So let's see how we can get this other side here. This side came open pretty well. Let's see, I might have to do it like this. There will be some ripping involved. There we go, this is coming. I'm going to try to do the least amount of damage. There we go. All right, so now I can store the magazine upright, but still be able to get the stuff out of here. So we'll take all this. It looks like there's some more stuff here. All right, so you can see the empty bag in there. We got all the stuff out without destroying the bag, and we can later store the magazines in the bag. That worked out very well. So let's see what all we got in here. Here's the magazine itself. Here's a big, huge poster. We'll look at that later. Usually subscriber copies in the UK, because I can't imagine anyone subscribing in the US. That would be hugely expensive because of postage and stuff. But and subscribers get the copies that look like this. Normally, issues will have, copies that are available at bookstores and newsstands and stuff will have all this lettering on it. But subscribers get versions of variant covers that have no lettering on them, so they look more like this type of cover. But since they already have the lettering on the bag, they didn't need lettering on the cover of this one. So this is issue number 576. Does it say it on the thing? It might say it on the back. No, it doesn't say it even on the front there. And it'll say in the fine print somewhere in here. There it is. 576. March 2022. Like I said, they come out in the UK earlier than they do in the US. So I think 577 is the current issue available in the US. It may be 578 already. I've not seen that yet, though. And this is just some of the, there's the letters pages. This month in 1922, I like this column here. It just talks about like one day of the year and various things that happened. Here's things of article about the most recent Doctor Who episodes. I've not actually seen any Jodie Whittaker stories yet, although I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of waiting for the DVD box set of her entire run, because in the past I've just been buying DVDs of as they come out, each season. And then with Peter Capaldi's, I finally stopped and was like, I noticed they're releasing these big box sets of a doctor's entire run. I'll just wait for her entire run instead of having to buy all these different seasons separately. So one of the cool things about Doctor Who magazines is when they have these historical type articles. So even if you're not a fan of the current series or the current show, there's lots of history in here and interviews with people that are involved with the show and so forth. Interesting article. Joe Grant. Doctor Who Comics. Whoop. Picture there. There was the Hulk comic. And the comic strip. And review of Smile, which was the second episode, I believe, of Peter Capaldi's last season. And the audio Big Finish stories. Reviewed. And that's it. So that's the 576 issue. Look at more here. Now, whenever I've tried to fold out these posters, it's always a bit hard to get it all on camera here because this is really big. But this is basically just a big Doctor Who and the Pirates, Discovers Pirates poster on one side. And then on the other side is John Pertwee and the Sea Devil. Whoa. Yeah, see, it's a bit hard to get it all in there. But it's just a massive poster. So it's bigger than the table here. So we'll pause this. All right, so now here's the little bonus magazine that comes in the issue. And this is a smaller version of that poster we just saw. Doctor Who Discovers Pirates. And nothing much on the back cover there. Has a kind of matte feel to it. Looks like a kid's book type of thing. I don't know what it is. So it's sort of like a little kid's book. Well, this is interesting. Huh. Neat. Yeah, it's sort of like a kid's book about pirates, but it's Doctor Who related. So, I wonder what the impetus for this was. Maybe because of the recent Doctor Who story of the Sea Devils? I don't know. It's a Tom Baker related, though. So is this a reprint of something? Huh. I don't know anything about it yet because I've just got this in the mail. I haven't read anything about it. So this could be a reprint of something. I don't know. Huh, interesting. All right, so now we have 577. Like I said, this one said it was $14.50. So if I had bought these at cover price, you're talking like almost $35, if I had bought them at. So I basically saved around $14 just by buying it on eBay, which is around the price of a new issue anyway. So here's what the inside of this issue looks like. Again, same format as always, with the letter page at the beginning. And then that one article, that column that talks about a particular day in history of the show. I'll just run through some of these things. usually the stuff about the current series is at the front of the magazine. And then as you go in, they start having like more historical type articles. And then the further in you go, they'll have like fan stuff, you know, collectors interest. So here we go. Here's the thing about Doctor Who related clothing. And then the comic strip, as usual. It always stars the current Doctor, whoever the current Doctor is. And then you have the fact of fiction, which goes in depth about a particular Doctor Who story. And then you have this little bit of apocrypha, which is about various things. And then you have the reviews. Lately, there's a lot of like reviews of the Big Finish dramas. And then there's season survey, where you're supposed to fill out and say, you know, which episode of the current series did you like best, and so forth. And that's that. So that's what I spent. Like I said, it was $20.72, so it was almost $21. And we have this as well. Here, I'll put this, so if I end up using this as the thumbnail image, actually we'll have it all together like that. Alright, so this is my unboxing of the video. And so now, as before, I'm going to show a little bit of my trip to Barnes & Noble. I think it was last Tuesday, maybe, where I went looking specifically for this magazine, but they did not have it. And if it had been there, I actually would have paid full price, $19.75 for it, simply because I was desperate and didn't want to break my Doctor Who magazine run. Because I'm only missing maybe about a dozen issues to have from the first issue in 1979. I think it was October 79. My first issue was actually a replica edition. If you see one of my previous videos called My Doctor Who Magazine Collection, Part 1 and Part 2, I show all my Doctor Who magazine issues. But at this point, I'm only missing about a dozen issues to have all of them from the beginning to these two most recent issues. So when this one was not showing up from my regular eBay seller, I was like, uh-oh, you know, I got to go to the store and get it before it's gone. I'm still looking to get 550 and 551. You know, those came out during the height of the lockdowns in 2020, where Barnes & Noble was not open in my state. And, you know, the eBay sellers didn't have the issue. So at some point I got to get those. But anyway, so I was glad to get these issues. So now the next bit of video you see will be my trip inside Barnes & Noble last week, looking for this issue. So that was my trip to Barnes & Noble. And just to reiterate what I said earlier in this video about how I was able to buy those issues on eBay, here was my eBay thing. As you can see, my order total was $20.72 for these 2 issues. That was, including the shipping. So that one that was with the bag that we opened, that one was $7, and then the one that didn't have a bag was just a regular issue. That one was $6 plus postage. It all came to $20.72. Pretty cool, huh? So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time.